Pastor David Ballard from Bethel Baptist Church, and I'd like to welcome you to another segment of Bethel's Bread. Today, we're going to learn just a simple little lesson we find in Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 20. In Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 20, the Bible says, "Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth." What a simple truth, but so profound. If we didn't add more wood to a fire, then the fire would eventually go out because there'd be nothing left there for the fire to consume. Sometimes I think that Christians and people in general like to watch others fail. That's why you have a long line of traffic at a car wreck. That's why you have gossip sessions. That's why you have the constancy of each other trying to hurt each other. And so at the end of the day, I want to just talk to you for a minute to try to say to you this. Sometimes it'd be better if we kept that log off the fire. Pointing out the faults of others never has the effect that we wish. It sure is easy to look at others and say, wow, you're making a mistake, or you're sure making a mistake. Sometimes it's easier to point out their faults than it is to perhaps look at our own. I've been saying in our church a couple of times that depends on which end of the binoculars you're looking through at your sin or at someone else's sin. Sometimes I think we look through the end of the binoculars of somebody else's sin that, boy, it sure does make it look big. But when it comes to our own sin, we look at the other end of the binoculars and our sin looks very, very small. Sometimes it's easy to point out the faults of others, but it never has the effect we wish. Every time, in the opinion of this preacher, anytime we try to make ourselves look better to others by pointing out others' faults, it just never works out that well. I'm going to be honest with you, every gossip session I've ever heard is that very thing. We try to make ourselves look better to somebody else by pointing out somebody else's shortcomings. We point out the shortcomings of a third party to that person we're talking to, and at the time it feels good. That's that flesh inside of us that loves that kind of activity, loves that kind of sin. I would challenge us today to try to encourage one another. Try to talk well about one another. What's that doing, preacher? Well, that's taking that wood and not putting it on the fire. When that third party figures out that you said something bad about them, that you just put some more wood on the fire. It would be their natural reaction to put more wood on top of that fire by saying things about you. And we certainly don't want to have that facing us every time we see somebody. So encourage each other. Talk well of one another, and that will come around to benefit you. You talk well about a third party to somebody, there's nothing quite so nice as hearing that someone else spoke well of you. I know this is difficult. I know sometimes it's easy to talk about each other and hurt each other with words, but the Bible tries to teach us something here. You don't put wood on that fire is eventually going to go out. You don't start telling tales about people, and those tales won't be told about you. So what a challenge today. I know this is a simple truth, but I thought you might like to see that. Let's speak well of one another. Everybody's having a hard time, so let's go ahead and be nice, and in that way, when the niceness comes back to us, we sure will appreciate that we were nice to them. I hope this helps you. This is another segment of Bethel's Bread, and I'm Pastor David Ballard from Bethel Baptist Church. I hope you have a tremendous day.